last 30 minutes in this house. We tiny little internet issue, no big deal. We're good.
Not GCI's fault.
No, it's not. No, actually, GCI, one of our sponsors, we're very happy they're providing great internet connections. I'm here, Jeff Landfield, with Sabrina Combs,
Hi.
Palmer City Council, and MEA, awesome person, Cale Green,
Just a guy.
Cale Green Productions, just a guy.
Yep.
I'm sorry that you're just a guy.
We're going to be breaking down the whole night of election results. We're about 5 minutes out till the polls actually close. First, I want to give a major shout out to Doug and Janice Smith. We're here at their house right now. You can't see because of the glare, but the beautiful view. We will see. We have a side camera shot that, if you were watching earlier, you could see the pan of the city. It's very pretty. Look at that. That's amazing. That's our live shot right now.
I've also counted no less so far than 6 Christmas trees that are already beautifully decorated inside this home.
It's a very Christmassy feel.
It's beautiful.
Gail, would you?
Oh, I mean, it's an absolutely gorgeous house.
So also I want to thank, we're going to be doing this a lot during the event, but Blueprint Alaska, great communications firm, PR, Alaskans for Sustainable Budgets, Brad Keithley does great work on the budget, Dittman Research, Moving the Needle, polling for companies and candidates, and then obviously GCI, and also an unnamed resource development company who gave us money for a sponsorship but did not want to be named.
But we appreciate them.
So
It's like very normal with like landmine culture to give money without actually wanting to be
I'll help
named.
you, but I don't want anyone to know
And
that
I
I
want
helped.
to know that I did this.
unless I run for office and then I like disclose all the donors for 29.
This is a private entity.
So, folks, we're going to be all night long breaking down the results. We're probably not going to start seeing results till about 9 or 9:30, I guess, on the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about what it was last time.
We are going to be interviewing candidates, legislators, representatives, senators. We have a lot of folks lined up.
Maybe governors.
Maybe a special guest at some point. And also, when the polls close here pretty soon at 8 p.m., we have a very special guest who is going to be doing. Should I tease it, Sabrina, or should I?
Just there's a
I mean,
performance
I don't
coming.
know.
It's a performance.
There's something
There's a
happening.
performance.
It's a performative activity that we're going to have from the Matsu Valley.
I'm not sure we're just gonna
Okay,
label it like that.
To clarify, this is not like an OnlyFans thing.
No, well, this is Facebook
Just wanna be
appropriate.
really clear.
Facebook appropriate. Also, we're if you're listening and you're driving in your car and you have to be move around, 106.1 KONR. We're also on that, and then obviously Facebook Live and YouTube. So we're looking forward to an amazing night. I'd say we're going to do about 4 hours. I haven't watched the national stuff, but it looks like
It's
again
weird. It's
I haven't.
weird.
It
Oh,
seems
I've been
like
watching.
someone texted me and it said CNN said Biden's on life support. Is that? I have not really
I
checked
think
that.
that our opinions of this are different.
Okay, so with what they were predicting and with what polling was showing and the way that national pundits were talking about this race, it has shifted. And the easy path to victory that Biden was initially supposed to have has been narrowing.
Now you listened to the Daily by Michael Barbaro.
I was listening to the Daily by Michael
They had a
Barbaro.
great breakdown last night about.
Oh,
these
they did
scenar-
such a
these-
fantastic
these
job.
scenarios.
I
Yeah.
think that we can touch on national stuff, but people can look at that anywhere.
I'm just saying, let's just before our friend comes on. So, folks, the polls close at 8. Now, we want to be clear. Half the votes that have been cast, many of them, the majority of them, are absentees. They are not going to be tallied tonight. They are not going to be counted. Now, the in-person early votes, up until Friday, will be part of tonight's tally. So, if a race is close, and especially if Democrats ahead, the majority of the outstanding Democratic ballots, absentee ballots, are Democrats. So, Democratic ballots. So, if a race is close, we're not going to know tonight. Now, if a race is a big spread and it's very far, we might have a better idea. But none of the absentee ballots cast up until today, or that come in until next week, aren't going to be tallied until November 10th.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things we don't know tonight.
Just like the primary, where we had several folks when we were, you recall, especially in District L, right? Some folks were losing on the primary, and then they came back and they ended up recovering with the absentees. So.
Yeah.
I think right now, if we can, Scott, and also before we go to our special guest, I want to thank Paxton Welber, Matty Coe, is it Noah? I don't know his last name. Noah Dean, and Team Landmine here, the background folks, the people behind the scenes that are making this possible with our graphics, with our feed, with our Zoom, with all of our guests. I mean, this is a big production here, so I want to thank everybody for helping us
This
out.
isn't using an iPhone video, as some people do.
Yeah, we're not using, this is several cameras. So we're going to go live. If we can,
Look, I don't have my shoes
there's the
on.
wide shot.
I'm barefoot. We're inside a house.
There's the wide shot. And
Look, there's two of the Christmas trees in that
if we
view.
can bring in our special guest, I'd like to, the polls have almost officially closed. We're almost at 8 p.m. There's the house. There's the, if you guys want to see behind the scenes, there's Paxson. Wave Paxson.
Hi, Paxton.
Look at him. He's in his landmine coveralls. Another
there's
another
tree
tree.
number
Christmas
three.
tree.
Another tree.
Oh my gosh.
We're again behind the scenes take here, and again big, huge, major shout out to Doug and Jana Smith for letting us be here at their lovely home on the hillside.
They gave us snacks.
This wine,
wine.
folks. This is, I told Sabrina, this is not Yellowtail.
I don't know why you think I'm a Yellowtail fan, you jerk.
I like it. I like it. It's $10.
So just to go over, you guys earlier made your landmine picks of,
Yeah.
We did,
of the
and
season.
I
I
think-
was not part of those.
That's true.
Right. And so
If anyone
we'll go-
missed, oh sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, you go ahead.
If anyone missed those results, they're up on the landmine right now, and there's something that you can go see like fairly easily. But I think so much attention's been brought onto the national races that it's easy to forget those, and it's really difficult to keep your attention on every single one of those races. Go look at those, and even if you agree or disagree, at least it'll give you a baseline for some of the discussions that we're going to be having tonight.
Yep. And we'll
Right.
be going through that list as soon as our special guest is done with their presentation.
So, folks, it's 8 p.m. The polls in Alaska have closed. We're actually the last polls in the country to close. There's one weird Aleutian. Have you heard about this? One Aleutian precinct that closes at like 1 or 9 p.m. instead of 8 p.m.
Because it's ridiculous that Alaska is one time zone.
Well, we can talk about that. There used to be several time zones. We've consolidated
Which doesn't make sense.
many years ago. Anyway, so folks, I want to go to our special guest right now live, Maddie Coe. Bring him in for a special karaoke song to ring in the closing of the polls here in Alaska. Hunky Lee.
Hunky Lee.
Hunky Lee, former Senate candidate in the Mat-Su Valley for the primary, Republican primary.
Hi, my name is Hunky Lee. Thank you for having me, Mr. Landfield and Alaska Landmine. I ran for Alaska State Senate race about 2.5 months ago. I lost, but I made many friends. And
Now, Hunky, I've been told by a lot of people, this is why I asked you to come on. You're big into karaoke, right?
oh yeah, that was my election campaign methodology, going to karaoke and dance clubs and sing and dance.
Shocked that didn't work. I mean, I love Asia Garden, and that was my 2016 strategy. Hunky, can we go ahead? Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's. Now you have a special song you're going to sing with a little bit of an Alaska twist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah."
Let's do it.
Hunky
hear this.
Lee,
I'm
it's on
super
you, buddy.
excited.
It's on you, buddy. It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay, this is for everybody who supported my campaign. I'm sorry I lost, but I thank you, and this is for you.
Hey, Hunky, we lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I sing?
Yes.
You can sing. I'm sorry. Something.
Okay, yeah.
Please.
Da 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 da. Start spreading the news.
Yes.
I'm living today. I want to be a part of it. Alaska.
Yes.
These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. Alaska. I want to wake up in the state that doesn't sleep and fight. I'm king of the hill, top of the hip. This little time blues are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it. You know, Alaska.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is amazing.
If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, Alaska.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
What a
Hunky
performance.
Yes, Hunky Lee.
You are a
Wa-
karaoke king.
That was actually, I'm going to be honest, that was actually a lot, like that was amazing. And
it was something.
The tone, the range. Kale Green.
I mean, he had a couple of octaves in there. I mean, it was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible to listen to.
Hunky Lee, we want to thank you so much. You were a big star on the primary election central. I'm going to say, buddy, you've upped your game. You've raised to a new level here.
It's pretty easy, like, and early to steal the show.
Some
like
of the
this.
comments on here.
Some of the folks are just
Someone said, I
logging
just
in."
logged on. What is happening?
We Hunky Lee is just a star, so thank you so much for being here,
Hunky Lee, again, I want to thank you for signing us off and celebrating the closing of the polls here in Alaska at 8 p.m. from the Mat-Su Valley.
Can I say
Hunky,
one more thing, please?
yes, you can.
Yeah, thank you for giving me my nickname, Toilet Paper Devil.
All right, thanks, Hunky.
Okay, Hunky Lee, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, we will be doing a podcast. I'm going to be in touch with you, okay, partner?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Guys, I got to be honest, that was
that was something.
actually
That was something.
actually amazing.
Yeah, that was.
The comments on the Buddy Witt here is
Yeah.
just not even he turned it on. He saw Hunky Lee doing his own version of New York,
Oh,
Alaska
man.
version.
Hey, so we did have one question during there that we should probably address during Hunky's song that had nothing to do with Hunky's song. Some folks asked why we weren't wearing masks, so we did want to just address that.
Oh, that's a good point.
All of us here in the household were COVID tested within the last day or two to
Or-
make sure that we were not bringing anything dangerous into Mr. Doug and Janice Smith's house.
and
So-
each other.
and
Yeah.
each other.
We're negative. We're what I call negative Rona. We're all negative. To come to this party, you got to be negative Rona.
So we are not being irresponsible. We were being very safe and being very smart. So
And I do want to give credit where 2 months ago or 3 months ago in June, I was very sick. I tried to get tested. Long story short, it was very difficult. Now it's very easy to get tested. You drive up to one of the spots.
Yep.
You wait a few minutes. You sign into the
Yep.
system. You get tested. It's great. It's easy to get tested. So for a while it was a little bit difficult, but the state has done a very good job of.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so much. I was recently in Seattle, and so I had been in Seattle, and I had to get my COVID test there. One of my COVID tests, I ended up taking 2 within the last 5 days. Oh my God, the testing down there is absolutely
I mean,
atrocious.
you know now it was bad 3 or 4 months ago. You test, 3 days later, I got an email. Boom, negative Rona.
Yep.
So.
So anyway,
now-
I just wanted to address that we're being safe.
I just want to be clear. We have a guest at 8:15, kind of a higher level, and we have a couple guests booked for the show, and then we also have a whole bunch of guests we've basically just sent an email to and said, "Are you interested in coming on if you're a candidate?" And we're going to be working. Maddie Coe back there, Scott Jensen, Noah Dale,
Noah Dale.
last name
Dean.
Damn it.
I was like, his name is not
So
Dale.
we got. They're in this little room here. That's an amazing little. Very.
I just want
kind
to point out that on the comments, there's been a lot of hellos from Palmer. So I just want to give a shout out to
Oh,
our
Samantha
folks in
Berg,
Palmer.
actually one of the stars of a Blackfish.
I actually
Amazing
got
woman.
to wave signs with her this morning, and she said, "Oh, you do a podcast with Jeff Landfield. I'm supposed to do one with
we've-
him." And I was going to, but it was the day the Berkowitz scandal came out,
Well, yeah.
and so they had to just
We've been trying to do a
Yeah,
podcast for a
that's
long
what she
time, and
said.
we're working on it. And folks, if you haven't seen Blackfish, it's an amazing documentary on Netflix. Samantha Berg from Palmer used to work at SeaWorld, was like in the mix of all
Yeah.
the.
It was just funny that
The
happened
whale
this morning. I
stuff.
just got to meet her, so hello, Samantha, and hello, my other Palmer peeps.
So,
Oh.
we're going to do a quick results flash. Now, the best part about this new stream from last time is we have Scott has the ability to talk to us. So now the results have not come in yet, folks, but I want to show
That's
you
what it's
guys,
gonna
Kale
look
and
like.
Sabrina. Look at this. Now Scott's going to be talking to us,
I can't even. That's so fancy.
yeah, that's great.
and we're going to be able to show you guys the results breakdown as it goes. You can also check
Nobody
on.
voted. Look,
Are-
nobody's voted.
I mean,
today.
are we able to start talking about some of these races?
Yeah,
Because
hey,
I'm really
let's-
excited to get into this. We have so many people
Let's
booked.
get into it.
Yeah, I mean, let's go. I mean,
All
let's.
right.
Okay,
So we do have at 8:15 somebody coming on,
So when
guys.
that happens, he's going
And
to tell
totally.
us.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we start by talking about the first and probably one of the bigger races, the U.S. Senate race?
All right.
Because
we-
the first one's president.
Well, I mean,
We called that Trump.
Alaska's going to go to Trump. I don't think any national organization is talking about it in any other way. Alaska's going to go for Trump.
doesn't?
It'd be wild.
Don't you live in the Mat-Su Valley?
Yeah, but I'm a progressive that was elected in the Mat-Su Valley, so.
Palmer.
All politics
You
is
just-
local.
It's hardly in the
Never
Mat-Su
know.
Valley. You're Palmer.
Okay.
A lot of cows.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we're talking about the
U.S.
Senate
Senate.
race.
The U.S. Senate race between, ultimately just Al Gross and Dan Sullivan, in which we look at, I think a lot of this I'm going to just base off looking at the landmine election predictions and then basically just talking about from there,
Sure.
where we ended up saying that this race would go to Dan Sullivan. We don't have any results yet that say that. Just based on a couple different factors, we said that Dan Sullivan would be the one who would take this race. The first one, in 2014, for those who don't remember, it was basically said by every political in the state that when Dan Sullivan won that spot, he would continue to own that spot until he decided not to be in it any longer. So this would be the fulfillment or breaking of that political promise by all those political people in their ultimate wisdom. And I mean that.
Well, and the 14 race was very expensive, and Begich was
Totally.
Democrat, and they put in huge money, kind of like this race. Now we're getting these 100 mailers a week. TV, radio,
it was a $50
Facebook.
million $50 million total endeavor between all the IEs
So
in
we
2014.
talk about the mailers. We see this a lot on social media. People talk about how many calls and how many mailers they're getting from the Al Gross campaign. Is that a misstep as far as
I
campaigning?
just want to I'm sorry, Naomi, shout out, love you, girl. This is your shout out. Sorry.
Oh, guys, if you keep texting Jeff for shout outs, I'm going to get irritated.
Yeah, because we're trying to have discussion.
I know. oh.
He shouts out all of you. You're all so special in his life. But I mean, I've run smaller campaigns. I have helped on campaigns. But when someone directly says, I'm going to vote for you, or I'm not going to vote for you, like what happens with the mailing list there? Because I am an Al Gross supporter. I have thrown a fundraiser for him at my house. Why am I getting 50 mailers a week?
So I
Well,
generally think
targeting. It's a targeting.
it's
issue.
it's also bad data management.
That's
I mean,
where
at some
I'm-
point you should be taking people off of a list and then sending them a final notification to drive your voters out during the GOTV effort. I think what their campaign.
GOTV for folks watching. If you get out the vote.
Sure, get out the vote, the
but when you
GOTV
see
efforts.
that is such an exorbitant waste of money. To me, that just tells me
Well,
that you're not going to manage
so
things properly.
I got to say, it's no secret. I've been helping, kind of running Mel Gillis's campaign, and Mel raised a lot of money, and at some point you have so much money, you want to spend it. I mean, it's hard. Like if you have tens of millions of dollars for a U.S. Senate race, I agree. The mailers, I think, at some point have a negative impact. I mean, they start to have a almost reverse impact. I'm sick of these mailers.
I would disagree with that. I don't think I've seen any statistical evidence that shows that there is an actual voter fatigue that drives people away from voting for you based on a number of communications or touches you've had with them.
Yeah.
I think it's like really easy. People say that all the time. Like, oh man, like this makes me nearly not want to vote for them. But it's always nearly. Like being annoyed, in my experience, has never actually led people
but
to
you're-
change their vote in that way.
You're operating on the margins on some of this stuff. So, but you're right. Once you identify somebody, whether you're using a Democratic system or Republican system,
I just think there has to be a better way. There has to be a
well,
better
you
way.
identify your voters. There's Kale. Look at that. That's a nice shot on Kale. Love this shirt, by the way. Is it a new shirt?
It's a new shirt, yeah.
You did your review, recent review on the ballot measure 2, and you had like a liberal Kale.
Yeah.
Love that liberal Kale. It was a great.
Yeah, I had a
great
pretty good
look.
shirt for Liberal Kale. I also I put on
And
the
glasses.
glasses. Yeah, that I think Liberal Kale needed a pair of glasses. I
So
thought that helped out.
let's go down. We do have somebody coming on. Scott will be talking to us.
Yep.
At some point, we're going to cut in. But let's start. I mean, we talked
Yep.
about the Sullivan race.
So U.S. Representative, we have Elise Galvin versus Don Young.
Wait, really quickly, do you think the same thing? Like Sullivan's
I think
gonna
that
win?
Sullivan's going to win.
Okay.
I just think Sabrina really does enjoy. I mean, you do kind of like. He looks good, right? I mean, you've said that before. I'm not making that up.
I appreciate Dan Sullivan as a human being. I would not choose him as a candidate. That's my personal opinion.
But you're a fan. I mean, you're kind
I'm
of
a fan.
a Dan fan.
Yeah.
We'll say. He's coming on tonight, so.
I
Okay,
can't wait.
Landmine Love is another podcast. Let's get back. Let's get back to this.
Okay, so yeah. no,
Allison, where are you?
but I do want to say that when Kayla and I were in Fairbanks profiling the District B Senate race, we were in Fairbanks, and that's when the Pebble tapes came out, and we were both like,
That was a huge hit.
wow. And Kale
huge.
actually, he stone called. We were talking about the ads that Gross might run after that, and Kale essentially, the day the tapes came out, Kale basically described the ad that Gross did end up running.
Yep.
It was a really good ad.
But
It was
I mean, if you hadn't used it, it would have been the biggest misstep ever.
He did a
Totally.
great Kale. I remember I called you. I said, dude, the ad you described, they're running that ad.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was
like,
in real time. That was right after we listened to the tapes in the car.
and then I was like, here's the exact ad. I was like, it's the corner line, sitting in the corner. It's just not a good look. I mean, I think it actually took, I think that was one of the biggest missteps the Sullivan campaign made, is that it took them a very long time to respond to those tapes. And I don't think that Pebble is anyone's top issue as far as this federal race goes.
But it is an issue people are aware of.
But it's a 70-30 issue. It's a 69, 30 issue. And so generally that means people are so, so positive on one direction that of course it's going to erode you. If you're,
if I'm Dan Sullivan, I am freaking pissed at this Pebble
Oh,
executive
yeah.
who's just.
Absolutely.
This guy Collier, he's not even really that involved.
Nope.
But he's just talking because he's trying to get money from
But it
these.
makes him look really bad.
It's like everything we think is wrong with politics, a backroom.
You're like,
deep.
oh, that's exactly
Oh,
what happened.
there it is.
Perfect.
Let's move on to the rep. Now this is the rematch. Obviously, the Galvin.
No, this is one that you and I disagree on.
you think
You
Galvin's
think
going
Galvin's
to
gonna win?
I think that she has a much better chance than you guys
Oh,
think.
dear
Oh,
God.
she's gonna do. I bet she's gonna do worse.
She's going to do worse. No one does better the second time against Young.
Everybody who's ran historically against Don Young, the second time has done
Second
worse.
time's always worse.
Oh, God, stop yelling at me.
You're stating facts. How about the come on, Sabrina? The ad. The I've had a million jobs, slime line, cook, restaurant, blah. I mean, that was a
What are you
weird,
doing with your hands right now?
kind of a Trump type,
But he was doing a lot more
I've
flailing
never
than
seen her
that.
do this.
Not her, me. I'm doing that. What I'm saying is that was a weird ad. And what about the one where but dad broke the mom's arm? My friend who has kids was like, I really enjoyed explaining to my kids what domestic violence is at dinner.
You should be explaining to your kids what domestic violence is.
Maybe not when you're having like a little snack.
I mean, maybe
On your
not
own
like right
terms.
away. Yeah, on your own terms.
you-
Hopefully, you hope it's on your own terms.
So you think Galvin has a chance?
I absolutely do.
Well,
Really? Is that just a gut feeling or?
Yeah,
have you seen any polls that confirm that gut feeling, or is it just a gut?
it's just a gut.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
check.
oh, shit.
Just wanna check,
Oh,
just wanna
shoot.
check.
Oh, are we on KONR?
I think that people are tired of Don Young.
No,
Are you-
people, to be clear, people have been tired of Don Young for 20 years.
Some people. I've never been, but
Bless your heart.
I know a lot of Republicans I talk to, and I love Don. Look, I've done podcasts with him. I think he's a legend. We all know that. But
We
there's-
know you think he's a legend.
he is a legend. That's a fact. But
When-
there's a lot of Republicans who say, man, I wish there was a different guy, but this is what it is. This is who they put up.
in all fairness, when Don Young, does this and sticks his tongue out on the House floor, he represents my best interests. So I just want to be really clear that actually represents what I
Kale,
would do in that
all
same.
right.
As a person that was at that, at the event that he missed.
The high school?
No. I was at the one at the senior center this year when he walked in thinking COVID was the beer virus.
Yeah.
And
I just want to just real quick to our producers. Do we have somebody in the back room? If not, no big deal. Just check that out. We got a text. Is he ready? Okay, guys, we're actually going to go right now to Dr. Al Gross. Going to cut in. There he is, Dr. Al Gross. How you doing?
Good, Jeff. How you doing?
Pretty good. You and I did a podcast about a year and a half ago, so we've known each other for a little bit.
I know. I was thinking about that. I was trying to remember how long ago it was. Seems like a lot of things have happened since then. That's for sure.
It was a long time ago. Now, this is your first time running for office, right?
For public office, yeah. No, I've been in leadership roles. I was president of my class in high school, of course, but I guess that was public.
Did you go like free vending machine, like free candy? That's
Berry bucket.
Now, I got to say, one thing I've been interested in, I spent a lot of time in Juneau with the legislature. Your dad was the attorney general under Jay Hammond.
That's right. Yeah, and that was throughout my teenage years in the 70s. So Jay Hammond was like a role model to me growing up. He was kind of like an uncle, and I spent a lot of time around the two of them when they discussed the future of Alaska's, the future of the state.
So this has been a huge race, a lot of money, a lot of national attention. How do you, polls just closed, so obviously no idea. But how are you feeling, and what are you thinking?
Well, we're feeling really, really good, Jeff. And, it's been a lot of work for a couple of years here, really 3 years leading up to this. We're really happy that the polls are closed and the cake is baked, but, there's about a third of the ballots are outstanding and won't be counted until November 10th or November 13th. So we definitely do not expect to have an outcome tonight, and we're going to wait until the last ballot is counted.
So Al, what we were talking about just a few moments ago was we had a lot of feedback on our social media about how aggressive your campaign was as far as sending mailers, giving calls. Do you think ultimately that helped you or hurt you?
Well, I hope it helped. There was a lot of enthusiasm behind our race. There were a lot of people that volunteered. We had thousands of volunteers, a large number of organizers across the state. And I know that a lot of people got saturated by campaigns from all directions. The ballot Proposition 1, for example. But I hope it helps, because we're, being a first-time candidate, I did not have statewide name recognition, so we really needed all the help we could get to get my name and my message out across the state.
So, Al, when you first got in the race last year, you hadn't run before. Maybe just describe a little bit about the experience, which, you went from people saying, "Who's Dr. Al Gross?" to now it's almost ubiquitous. I mean, people know who you are. A lot of money, a lot of third-party money, your money. You've raised money, a lot of campaigning. Radio, TV, mail, Facebook. Maybe describe that experience a little bit from going from, you were a doctor, and then you kind of got involved in advocacy, and now you're this, like, people on the national level are talking about you.
Well, I think one of the greatest things about this campaign is all the kids in the state know who I am. They took off on the Bear Doctor meme, and all the kids are singing it all across the state, and that really brings me a lot of a really good feeling in my heart to have that. But the campaign's changed a tremendous amount, Jeff, back from when we last talked, because I traveled all across the state to many of the villages and towns and cities long before COVID-19 hit. But I was fully expecting to see the other half of the state that I was, didn't have on my agenda last summer, this summer, and of course that didn't happen with COVID-19. So that was a real disappointment, and that was all the more reason why we needed so many organizers and volunteers on our campaign, was to get my name and message out across the state. And I really am sorry that I wasn't able to get to so many of those places, because that's really what makes campaigning so fun, is meeting the people of Alaska and listening to their concerns about it.
I've got I've got two questions. One, I think I saw you outside Lucky Wishbone. Did you go to Lucky Wishbone today?
We did. I was really disappointed. It's shut down for indoor eating, so we ordered out and took it back to our campaign headquarters and
now,
had lunch.
Just for people who don't know, and you've been in Alaska for a long time, so you've probably seen, observed, or watched the tradition for a long time. But could you explain why Lucky Wishbone on Election Day to anyone who maybe doesn't know?
Well, I guess it's a tradition here in Anchorage. I'm not from Anchorage. I'm from Southeast, but I guess it's very traditional that candidates go to Lucky Wishbone, and I ordered chicken. I guess that's what the thing to do.
That's what you ordered.
The dish.
That's what Monica told me to do, so I did what she said, and I guess it's got good luck.
Also, I know you got a big night. Last question: this race, I think it's fair to say, has gotten very intense. I mean, you and Sullivan have had a lot of things to say about each other, records and kind of hit pasts. Did you anticipate that when you got? I mean, have you been surprised, or is this kind of the direction you saw it going, or maybe just comment a little bit about this? I mean, it's been a very intense race for the public.
Well, Dan Sullivan's been making a lot of things up about me all along the way, and because he's got nothing else on me, he's just started making things up about I'm a socialist or a liberal or Green New Deal, Medicare for all guy, and none of that's true. So he just started very, very negative on us. And I think our campaign just told the truth about Dan Sullivan. I don't think we fabricated anything about him. We just tried to stay on message as to what was best for Alaska. That's why I stepped up to do this. It's what I care the most about. And and I'm just glad it's over. There was a lot of mudslinging from the other side, and unfortunately, a lot of people bought into it. And there's some people who think I'm from California, of all things.
they were doing those. I mean, they were pushing.
No, I was not.
When they did you with like the Hawaiian shirt and the surf outfit, when you saw that, like, what were you? Were you like, Jesus?
Well, I didn't see that. I heard about it, but I heard I looked pretty good in that Hawaiian shirt, from what I've been told. But I was knocking on doors in trailer.
You were wearing you had like a latte, and you did look good. I mean, but. It was like for the last few weeks, you guys saw it. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It was everywhere. It was California Al.
Well, I'm just glad it's over, Jeff, and we'll wait for the votes to be counted.
Al, we're gonna tell everyone best of luck tonight. I know it's been a long race, and I've run before, so I know the feeling of like at this point, nothing you can do. I mean, you got to wait and see. But regardless, a lot of folks know who you are now. It's been a very I'd say exciting campaign for the public.
It's been very exciting. We've had so much enthusiasm behind our campaign, and I'm just so thankful to all the people that volunteered all across the state. There's just so many people that worked so hard on this campaign, and there's a young lady who works on our campaign up here that was on the swim team with my youngest daughter in Juneau, and she came up to Anchorage and has been one of our organizers. And that's the connections that we've had all across the state in one way or another. So
I will tell you, one of my favorite commercials is you and your family and the truck and the fire, kind of the. You guys seen that one?
Yeah, I love that.
The daughter, you have two daughters, maybe, and a son. Is that right?
I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and they're all in their 20s. And yeah, when that ad starts, you think it looks like it's a truck ad.
Yeah, I thought it's just like are we like Bill Ford Tough or what are we
Yeah.
doing there?
Well,
Okay.
Dr. Gross, it's been great
Doc,
getting to
I-
know you, myself, and you and Monica. You guys have run a great campaign, and it's been great seeing you get out there in the community.
Well, we definitely tried hard and did our best, and I don't look back with any regrets. And I hope we win. I think we will, and I really look forward to speaking with you down the road.
Last thing I want to say is that your baritone is. I mean, if this doesn't work out, I think you might have a career in opera.
Well, I've been told I might have a career in radio, so watch out.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Dr. Al Gross, candidate for U.S. Senate, independent Democratic primary. Thanks again for coming on. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, so Jeff, you probably got these same results that I did from
Tapes?
the tapes.
I haven't gotten tapes yet. Somebody was going to send me tapes.
Oh yeah,
Tell us everything.
Are we-
we just got tapes, at least from one precinct in District 22, where it looks like the numbers that came in were 448 votes
Holy hell!
for
Look at this.
Republican Sarah Rasmussen, 106 for David Neese, and 132.
So that was actually
I'm looking at this is tape. What tape? They aren't sharing the precinct. This is ballot measure 1 from a tape, and 22. Ballot measure 1 459, no, yes 223.
Wow,
See,
that's
I told you.
so you were saying
We
no,
have a
hard
big
no.
bet where we have a double or nothing.
We have a double or nothing bet on ballot
But
measure
this is
1.
22. This is one precinct in one district.
But let's talk. We can skip if we want to Sarah Rasmussen's. You guys on your pick
Yeah.
said that was going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close at all.
Diamond won. Well, so I think we thought that one was going to be close because every single time that race has kind of gone back and forth. I think Sarah's a really strong candidate, but in all fairness, I've also worked for her for 2 cycles now. Like I've done videos for her, which is only so much, but it's still doing a little bit of videography work. So apparently the results that we just read off were from Diamond 1 that shows that Sarah Rasmussen has an outstanding lead. I mean,
Yeah.
and what's really surprising is that David Neese got only slightly less votes than Stephen Trimble.
Well, I just got to say, guys,
Right.
I got another tape. A 20 district precinct in 23. Ballot measure 1, no 313, yes 183.
Wow,
So,
it sounds like no is just going to
Let's
destroy.
chat about this for a second.
That's a 20.
Yeah,
that's a-
yeah. Let's
It's next
talk
on our
about that.
list. It was
also number 2. No, 2. This is a precinct in 23. No 268 ballot measure 2. Yes 227.
Okay, what about 2? Ballot measure 2.
That's 2.
So you said what? I'm
was it?
sorry.
What was it?
This is a precinct in district
But
23.
what are the numbers
Oh
again?
my God.
268 no to 227 yes.
Well, I'm surprised by that.
Whoa. 2 might be beat, and they got. I mean, just like they spent so much more than their
Right, but
opponents.
this is a single tape from a single precinct.
Well, no,
Let's slow your roll there.
that's 2 tapes now.
Right.
That's 22 as well.
All right. So anyway, let's talk about ballot measure 1. You both said on for your pick. Who's involved in the picks? Is that something we want to
No, it
disclose?
was me, Kale, Paxton, and Allison.
Okay.
All 4 of us.
Okay, so you believe that you are leaning on it passing. You think that people are going to vote yes on ballot measure 1 by a slim margin. Is that correct?
Yeah, we said slim, close but slim.
Okay, I don't think it's going to
I believe less of that now after seeing
Yeah,
this.
well,
Oh, after your tape.
thanks, Kale.
I'm
I'm gonna abandon that immediately.
Yeah, no, I believed that I believe it is going to be a no on 1 by a landslide. So much so that I double or nothinged a $200 bet that I had lost to Mr. Landfield on the primary. Are you-
Wait a second, I'm getting some more tapes from another tape. Hold on a second. Wow, so
I hate
one tape from 23. This is precinct 740, Arctic precinct. Kathy Hensley 257, Chris Tuck 178.
Okay, so if we're gonna go by tapes all night, I'm gonna be.
Well, I mean, this other tape from District 22 from the Kincaid precinct was 637 Rasmussen, 65 Nice, and 171 Trimble.
Okay. So let's maybe wait for some of the actual results to start rolling
Okay,
in.
you want?
Okay, well,
And we'll go through
go
this
back.
list
Okay,
more.
so
Okay.
let
let me do one more, just because this is my own thing. This is my own thing because it affected me. 23,740. This is 23, not 24.
sure.
Natasha von Imhoff, 309. Rosalind Casey, 168.
A little bit salty
Call
there, huh?
that. Sorry.
Did anyone call it for Rosalind Casey?
No one.
No,
ever
I
would
said
have.
she. I don't want to go into it, but let me just tell you, Natasha's gonna murder that race if she got that many more votes in 23 precinct, random precinct.
That's
Is
truthful.
that going to be? Is that going to be the?
I'll be quiet for
That's going to be a big thing for Jeff throughout the evening.
Okay.
If
It
we,
could be.
okay, so if we want to do U.S. representative, or were we done talking about Young?
We were done. You
We
guys.
were doing Well, okay.
Yeah, no. So we're on to ballot measure 1.
Ballot measure
I
1.
believe it's going to be a no. You believe it's going to be a yes.
Well, I thought it was going to be a slight yes, but honestly,
But you heard one precinct and you're
Well,
like,
folks,
oh, no.
two precincts in Anchorage. So look, we have a lot more
There's
to
a
go.
whole state.
Exactly, 2 precincts in Anchorage.
But
Okay.
22 and 23, I wouldn't exactly
Also,
say
just
like are the
also
bastions
just
of
getting
energy
confirmation
development.
from a tape in North Pole that Myers is blowing Marna Sanford out of the water on the Steves.
in North Pole, of course he would. But okay, so ballot
Yeah.
measure 1.
Wait,
I'm
so-
sorry. Maybe a little louder. For
Who do we
me,
have, Scott?
Mr.
Julia,
Ooh, Hinkler.
is that Nelica?
It is.
Is that my girl Julia? If that's my
It
girl
is.
Julia, if
Let's
that's
get
my
her
girl
on.
Julia Nelica, we bring her on right now. We bring her on live. There she is. Is that Julia? Is that a real Northern Lights background, or is that like a Zoom back?
Absolutely. This is the interior.
Not sure what to say about that, but
That's what's happening right now behind her. It's 21 below up there. 21 below.
Julia, when you came on for the primary, I didn't know who you were. Since then, I've gotten to know you. But I called you Julie Hinkla.
You did much better tonight. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought you were going to even go more extreme with it.
Julia Nilica. So we read about your race, and we can talk about that for a second. You're in a very strange 5-way race. You're the Democrat. There's Mike Cronk, the Republican. There's Elijah Verhagen, who's running as kind of an independent Republican conservative, and then 2 other folks. Normally I think you'd agree you have no business winning. A Democrat has no business winning this race.
Do you want to go ahead and talk about who you picked?
Look, we had I actually think it's favors Julia. We had a discussion.
That's not what this says.
I think it favors Kronk.
Yeah, keep him
Sabrina,
honest. Keep him honest. What
Sabrina,
did you
yeah,
say?
I mean,
Sabrina,
no.
there's 4 of us. We have a discussion.
In all honesty, when Jeff originally, put out his piece of the prediction, I think it was significantly more favorable toward you. It was me who said that it was favoring Kronk.
I want to be clear. I am not trying to, if you win, date you in Juneau. But, if you wanted to go on a date with me, I would not say no.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Wow. I had no idea that this night is going to be so exciting.
Wow. That was a
putting that out
perfect
there.
response. You're going to be a great politician.
Yeah.
But Kayla and I were up there in September doing the District B, B race profile, and we saw your signs everywhere.
Yeah.
And you raised a ton of money in the last few months. So, knowing this is a Republican district, how do you feel about the, where it's going?
Well, I know that it's a Republican district, and running as a Democrat, especially during COVID, when I haven't had the opportunity to have as many face-to-face conversations as I would have in a different year, has made it more challenging. But I've just tried to make sure to pick up the phone, talk to as many people as I could across the district, find safe ways to meet people on the side of the road and parks and things like that. And so when I get to talk with people, there have been countless people who have honestly told me that they haven't voted for a Democrat and they can't remember when, and they're voting for me. And that has been really exciting because I think that they can see that I'm listening to them, that I actually care about what everybody in my district has to say. And it's such a vast district and it's so diverse. We have people from Arctic Village, and we have people from, Tok, from Cantwell, from Chittana, all over the rural interior. And so even though we're so diverse, I think that it really takes somebody who's going to listen to everyone. And when I get to spend that time with people, even if it's on the phone or on Zoom, you know, it's been really heartening to hear how many people are willing to put their faith in me and give me that opportunity to serve them.
So the race, you know, at the end of it's gotten pretty kind of weird. I mean, the laborers have gotten involved, third party groups. You've sent out some mail. I mean, obviously you want to, your strategy is, right? You want Kronk and Verhagen to fight for the Republicans. Because in 2018, a guy named Ed Alexander, who I don't know, ran against Dave Tallarico, the incumbent, who's not running for re-election, and he got 40% as a Democrat. If Julia Nilica gets 40%, homegirl, you got it in a 5-way race.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see where those votes end up. And, you know, just it's not going to be the end tonight. We have a lot of, I think it's over 1,300 ballots that are being sent in. And so we have a lot, that's about 30% of our district. And so, you know, it's going to be a couple of weeks before we actually know who the winner is going to be. I expect it to be quite small margins, but you know, this is the night. The chips fall where they may.
Julia, we're so happy you came on. We have another candidate who's calling in, but I want to wish you the best of luck, and it's been great getting to know you. Julia Nilica, not Julie Hinkla, as I...
Nope, not even close.
Because when you came on in the primary, I literally had no idea who you were. I just kind of said, oh, Julie Hinkla. That sounds about right.
Aren't you? That's adorable.
Thank you so much for the tips.
Also, I got to say, I'm a big fan of, is it Mr. the cat?
Oh, St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Yeah.
Huge fan of St. Francis. I mean, when I saw that post, I think I made a meow comment.
Wow.
So someone just made a comment. Someone get Landfield a cold shower. That's
let's do it now.
Top fan, Landmine top fan.
Julia, thank you for working so hard on your campaign.
Julia, hey, best of luck to you. Hey, you know, it's been a great campaign. Whatever happens, you know, it's been great getting to know you, and you know, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
So coming up next, we have a candidate from the Valley.
I'm gonna let Sabrina kind of cue this one off.
Oh yes, we have Jamin Burton on the line. Is that right? Yes,
Working on. This is the Lynn Gaddis.
The what?
Lynn Gaddis seat, the Colleen Sullivan Leonard.
Yes. Oh, we're trying to.
I think you're muted there, Jamin. I'm gonna let Sabrina kind of roll with this one.
Hold on.
7.
All right, we've got the mute off.
There we go. Hi, Jamin. How are you?
Hi, Sabrina. I'm doing great.
Good. Thanks for
Thanks
waiting
for having me
so
on
long.
tonight.
I saw your little photo over there. I was like, oh, we have him on the line. So, Jamin, you're running for House District 7. This is a seat that was vacated by Colleen Sullivan Leonard. She's
That's
not
correct,
running
yep.
for re-election, and so you are running against a Christopher Kirka, who is the Republican nominee. Tell us
Yep.
a little bit about your race.
Well, I feel really good about what I did. I had the benefit of being a teacher, and so I had the summer off, and I went and knocked on every single door in the district and talked to people and had some good conversations. And I didn't fundraise as much as Chris, and I don't have